All right, welcome back. So, another news video for tonight, and then the preview, and then I'm turning in. I promise you won't get any more notifications after this video and the preview. This is why I don't tell people to turn on the bell. This is why I don't say hit the bell for notifications. This is why I do that, because I understand there's 24 different time zones, 25 if you include Newfoundland, and there's just I understand. You know, your phone goes off at 2 in the morning because there's a notification. You look at it and you go dislike. You go back to sleep. So I understand. All right, Kevin Fiala has been suspended 3 games for the hit on Matt Roy. His argument was he didn't mean to throw him into the boards. The NHL's argument is you had plenty of time to stop the hit. You were looking at his numbers the whole way. You could have changed your angle or just not hit him at all, and you did both. You just kept the same angle and you hit him into the boards. So he's out for 3 games, including their upcoming games. I believe they're against Colorado. Yeah, they're up against Colorado tomorrow night. So that's going to hurt. Kevin Fiala was just getting his offense going, and now he's out for a bit. The NHL has also announced that so far they have rescheduled 2 of the Vegas Golden Knights games. Well, they've pushed these games back. They've postponed them. The rescheduling hasn't happened yet. And you'll notice that when the games get rescheduled, I just tell people, yeah, so games are rescheduled. I don't say when because maybe they happen, maybe they don't. These games were supposed to be at Gila River. So this is the interesting part. These were San Jose's home games. San Jose will be able to play at home in the middle of February. They were given the allowance to do that. These were the 2 home games they were playing in Arizona. So homeless at home. And those are now postponed against Vegas. Those were Monday and Wednesday. And of the players for Vegas, so far it looks like it's Pietrangelo that's in COVID protocol along with the coaching staff. And so that's troubling for Vegas if they start playing again and if Pietrangelo's in protocol. Because when players come out, when they don't, that all seems to vary. Speaking of unhappy situations, Evgeny Malkin admits he's unhappy with his play so far. And at some point in time, I would think that Malkin, Crosby, who are both on the other side of 30, eventually they'll be human. And their points totals will start to drop. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm not going to predict that this is the start of a drop for Malkin. But, it could be, right? It could happen. We'll see. He's unhappy with his play so far. And I would say that it's highly likely most Penguins fans watching this would agree. They're not entirely happy with the play from Malkin either. He's been invisible in some of these games. So tomorrow when they're in against the Rangers, I would look for him to be maybe a little more engaged, something more going on with him, because he hasn't quite been his normal self over these last few games, basically since the start of the season. Speaking of back to themselves, however, Fast and Slavin are the 2 guys in Carolina that are still on that protocol list. The other players are off. So the other players will be able to return to the lineup soon, but Jesper Fast and Jacob Slavin, not so much. So we'll see how long they're out. That's a tough one for Carolina because Slavin is a great defensive defenseman, one of the best in the league. But so far, so good. They got that shutout win last night. And tomorrow night, they are at home against Dallas. So that defense is going to get tested because Dallas is scoring from anywhere and everywhere, and I'm not sure how it's working. I'm bewildered myself. I looked at that game last night against Detroit, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they scored 7. You even looked at John Klingberg after he scored that 7th goal. You could kind of see him going, I don't know, it just went in. That's just how it's working, and we'll see if Carolina can change that for Dallas. Colin Delia. So at the start of the year, Chicago had a 3-headed goaltending monster in Subban, Delia, and Lankinen. And the question was, so who's going to emerge as a starter? Subban got the early look, Delia got the early look, but it's Lankinen and Subban that have been the better goaltenders out of the 3. So that pushes Delia down to number 3 on the pecking order. Subban's last game, he looked very good. And over the last couple of games, Lankinen's looked excellent. I think it's Lankinen's net with Subban as the backup, which means that Delia is the number 3. And it's noteworthy because Delia had been waiting his turn for a while in the Chicago organization. This might be his chance. And if it doesn't come around, that chance may not present itself again next season. So we'll see what happens if this continues to be the case, if Lankinen can stay hot, but he looked great tonight against Columbus. And of course, he was bested by Korpisalo at the other end, but That happens to a lot of goaltenders. So yeah, Chicago's goaltending problem is I think mostly resolved with the way Lankinen's playing right now. If he can keep this up, and now it's a matter of getting the goals they need. That seems to be the biggest problem. Also noteworthy, I don't report a lot on the day-to-day injuries because I could throw it into a video and then it's incorrect, or then I miss other guys that become day-to-day injuries later. But it's noteworthy because the Saturday matinee games between the Sabres and the Devils, of course, for the Devils, Zajac won't be in the lineup due to protocols, and Reinhart is now listed as day-to-day for the Buffalo Sabres. So Reinhart may not be in the lineup for Buffalo, and we'll see how that affects them, because Buffalo, things seem to be coming together relatively well. They didn't get the end they wanted against the Rangers last night, but they seem to be getting it together. So we'll see without Reinhart if that changes the team's chances. The one thing I want to see is Skinner going to start putting the puck in the net soon? And I know that may sound sarcastic. It's not. I genuinely want to see strong appearances from Skinner, and for him to get things going. The interesting thing again is we then get into the conversation of, is he getting enough ice time? And I counter with, but has he played well enough to get more ice time? My answer to that would be no. But again, we'll see what Buffalo does, and if that provides a chance for Skinner to jump up and get some prime scoring opportunities tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. But the preview is after this video goes live, so stick around for that. And hey, let me know your thoughts regarding these items in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. There is an intention to have a live stream on the channel tomorrow. We'll see how all the timing works and whether or not that does happen. But the intention is to have one, because there's 6 hours between the start of the matinee game and then of the evening games, and we've got 8 games starting at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. So 8 games right out of the gate of the 11. They're all on at the same time, because the NHL schedule maker probably secretly hates me. That's my guess. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.